Hi guys, so my hair looks a hot mess. Today I'm going to be talking to you about Drag Race. I'm going to address two topics. First off, season 13 just ended, so what's next? And is Drag Race being overproduced? Are you guys ready? Good. So first and foremost, we have to address the topic, so season 13 ended, what's next? Thanks for that. Anyway, so, Drag Race Season 13 ended. What's next? As you guys may or may not know, and spoiler alert, even though you've had time to watch the series finale, Drag Race Season 13 crowned Simone as their new champion. And this is really the first time in a long time that I think, because this is opinion, a winner has deserved it. I think the last time that somebody did really deserve to win, it was Bianca Del Rio in season 6. And before that, Jinx Monsoon really deserved the win, and as did, Jinx Monsoon deserved the win, and as did Bianca. But I think that Simone has now cracked it to where she really did deserve the win. There was nobody really better than Simone. And this is mostly because of her runways and her nods to her black heritage. Something that we really haven't seen. Nobody has dared to really go beyond, I'm wearing this dress, like Honey Davenport's dress, for the Fringe thing. She talked about gun violence. And while that was noble and really awesome of her, Simone's Fascinator look was probably the best use of the Black Lives Matter thing that I have seen in a long time. Black Lives Matter movement. It's not a thing, it's a movement. And I really loved Simone's runways. They were always on brand. They were always, except for the furry one. The furry one, I don't understand how you could go, furries? Yes. But everything was on brand for her, and I really enjoyed it. Even Harriet Tubman was on brand for Simone. Talk about if you're going to go out there in a do-rag, if you're going to go out there with Black Lives Matter things, not only did she, the Fascinator look, not only did she wear that look, she also wore it on a day where she portrayed an abolitionist for Snatch Game, which you would never think to make that funny. It's like making Rosa Parks funny. You don't really think about making her funny, but somehow Simone did it. I think she deserved a high spot in Snatch Game, but that's just me. I thought that she really was a standout performer. And Simone's just willingness to give everything that she had to drag was amazing. Now, she had a couple of downfalls, and they were pretty big downfalls. Nobody really forgets the Rusical. So for her to lose so badly at the Rusical was sort of sad. But I'm glad that she got to stay. As well as her to lose in the roast, even though I don't think she was the weakest. I think that would have gone to probably Olivia, if not Utica. I think that Simone should have stayed over Utica and Olivia, mostly because of her record. Looking at her over the competition, yes, she wasn't the strongest. She was beat out by Gottmick and Rosé, but she was probably the best candidate for the Drag Race Hall of Fame. So when it came time to the finale, my mom and I, because my mom watched it with me, held our breath and waited for the results to be announced. So first and foremost, why did Candy and not Rosé win the first lip sync? Well, it's my belief that Rosé was just not good enough. She looked like Britney, don't get me wrong, but something about her track record up to this point was a glaring issue, and that was the fact that she could not survive her first lip sync. If she had survived her first lip sync against Olivia, I'm certain that she could have most likely won this. Also, the fact that she just was not good enough to make it to the finale shows us that Rue knew who was going to win from straight off the bat. If they had done like in season 10, where Candy got eliminated and then the final 3 lip sync, I'm sure that most likely Gottmik would have won. However, the fact that Simone beat Gottmik shows that Simone was always going to win, which isn't a bad thing. I think that knowing who you want to win and eliminating queens thusly is your best bet. So Rosé gets eliminated by Candy, which my mom was not happy about. Here's the thing. Candy Muse is an acquired taste. Either you love her or you despise her. But I'm in the category of somewhere in the middle. I don't mind Candy, but at the same time, her run on the show was a little bit flawed. And I think that I knew that she was never going to win. But I think that having her be the one that everybody hated, even though they were editing her to appeal to everyone, was a little bit confusing. It was the same thing in season 11. You know, you had Silky Nutmeg Ganache, who was supposed to be America's sweetheart, but instead, everybody grew to hate her. And when she eliminated a fan favorite, like Olivia, Candy did Olivia, it was heartbreaking to us fans because we didn't want her to succeed. And yes, there are Candy stans out there, and yes, I love Candy Muse now, but on the show, I did not enjoy Candy. That being said, I am glad that she won her first lip sync, because that way Simone could win. I had no shadow of a doubt that if Candy made it to the finale, she was never going to win, which was a good thing, not to throw shade at Candy, but because whoever won that other lip sync could have won, and I think Candy knew that. Second off, how did Gottmik not win? Well, let's look at the facts here. It's Simone. She has beaten everybody in the lip syncs. So, looking at her versus Simone, she was never going to win. It was basically like the Shea and Sasha of season 9, but flip-flopped, you know? You got Rosé out, she was the Trinity the Tuck. But now you have a Shea Coulee versus Peppermint storyline, where Shea wins, and Peppermint goes home, Peppermint being Candy. So now, Simone is Shea, and Sasha is Gottmik, which really is an they really do match each other really well. If you think about it, they really do. Gottmik and Sasha both were out-of-the-box creative people. So it would have made sense for Gottmik to win. However, I'm glad that she didn't, and I'm glad that she's going to be on All Stars sooner or later, because I don't think that it was her time to win. I think it would have gone against everything that RuPaul has stated. And even though he could have had a change of mind, I think that we need to have more people like Gottmik be on the show and to show that they have what it takes. If they had originally just slated Gottmik to win, I don't think it would have been as powerful as, we're going to have to work for this. And it's not because, for those who might have taken that last part out of context, it's not that their drag isn't valid as the others. You know, a male doing drag and a transgender male doing drag are on the same playing field. Okay? Even a woman who does drag is on the same playing field. All drag is valid. But the way that RuPaul has stated things in the past is that he does not see it that way. So to have Gottmik win would spark the controversy, did she win only because of her original gender? And I think that was something that they were trying to avoid, and that's something that they did avoid by not having her win. Having more people like Gottmik on the show, transitioning females to males, will allow everybody in mainstream media to see the different side of drag that Gottmik and the rest of the transgender community can bring. And I'm really excited for that. Gottmik may not have won, but she has opened the door to a whole bunch of people, and I'm so excited to see it. So what's next? Well, obviously season 14 comes out in 2022, and there's already speculations that certain people are going to appear on it. Good. But I'm excited to see who Rue brings into this. You've had 200 plus drag queens by now, so who are you going to bring in? Are you going to bring anybody back? If so, here's a list of queens that I think you should be brought back. Bussy Queen has stated in the Exposing the Drag Race Contract video that queens are up to 4 years can be chosen to be on any season. With that in mind, let's go through queens who I would want to see back on season 14 if they allowed that. Number 1, Mercedes Iman Diamond. I don't think that she got enough credit for her style of drag, and I think that she should have been pushed more towards fame and fortune in season 11. Season 11 was a hot mess, and I think that having 13 is the sweet spot because everybody's going to remember them. Mercedes could come back and be either a Cynthia Lee Fontaine, where she doesn't do that well but at least makes it to Snatch Game, or a powerhouse like Vanjie and makes it to the finale. And I really want to see that, and I really want to see Mercedes do well. Another one from season 11, Honey Davenport. I don't think that you guys gave her enough credit on the show to start out with, and I think that if Honey were to come back stronger and braver than ever, I think that she could be a top contender for season 14. This current season, I think, Tamisha Iman, bring her back, bring Joey back, bring Kimora back. Those three deserve a second chance. If you're going to bring a Miss Congeniality back, bring Lalaurie back. She clearly had a spark with the other queens, so to have her be Miss Congeniality and have her be never even making it to Snatch Game, we need to see that. But if you go the different route of not having to bring anybody back, that's okay too. What ticked me off about the era of bringing queens back was that it was unnecessary. Cynthia Lee Fontaine was brought back, but why? Bringing Eureka back was necessary, but at the same time, whatever. Vanjie was unnecessary. I think that the season 11 cast could have done greatly without her. So when all of that faded away, and we started getting more and more good seasons of Drag Race, it was great. Obviously, Drag Race Down Under and Drag Race España are coming out, and they just released the Drag Race España cast photos today, which is great. At the same time, I don't have Wow Presents, so I really can't watch it, and frankly, I don't care that much. Here's the thing. Transitioning into our next topic, is Drag Race being overproduced? I'm kind of tired of it, aren't you? We've had 2 seasons air at the same time, UK and season 13, and we just now finished season 13. We have a hiatus of a week before a Down Under series starts playing on our screens, and then we're going to crown Australia's next drag superstar, not to mention the fact that during that we may get cast photos for All Stars 6, as well as a release date for Drag Race España, not to mention the fact that Drag Race UK Season 3 is going to air later this fall. So, what's going to happen? Well, first and foremost, we got to get through Drag Race Down Under. And the 10 queens there have been through controversy after controversy, with Scarlett Adams not even allegedly actually doing blackface, as well as Karen from Finance's racial tattoos. They've been through a lot of controversy. Now, Drag Race España has just been announced, so we don't know when that's going to be. We've seen promos, trailers, videos, all this stuff, and finally we get the cast, and it's like, okay, I'm over it now. You've shown the same judge's feet 7 or 8 times now. Come on, y'all. Drag Race Holland is going to be airing again, and so is Drag Race Canada. But here's the thing. When is Drag Race too much Drag Race? Now, if we were on... Now, All Stars 6 is going to have to air, obviously. We already kind of know the cast of that, which is great because, we'll get to see who steps into the workroom for a second chance this time, and we may get some iconic moments, but it's being overproduced. Last year was All Stars 5, and that went right down the shitter. A lot of fans agreed that after All Stars 2, the All Stars season started to decline in popularity because of the fact that not a lot of queens who were really well known were being asked to be on All Stars. Now, these aren't the queens' faults, but who remembered India Farah? You know what I'm saying? Who remembered Mayhem Miller and Blair St. Clair and Jasmine Masters? Nobody remembered them. So when it came time for their turn in the spotlight, it was like, whatever, man. And this season of Drag Race All-Stars is going to be even more chaotic with 13 queens. You have 4 from season 11, which we all know how that season aired, so, oh lord. With Akira Chanel Davenport being rumored, not accurate, but rumored to be going second in their lineup, which means that we won't even get to see who people consider their favorite drag queen from season 11 be brought to justice in All Stars. Silky Nutmeg Ganache, who people generally disliked, will be leaving, rumored, apparently, third, but then be brought back only to be eliminated again, which, okay, well, that sort of sucks, but what are we going to do about that? Scarlet Envy, who is probably one of the most robbed queens of season 13, season 11, is going to get eliminated. I think it was like 9th, right? 13th, 12th. 9th. I think it's 8th. 8th. She's getting eliminated 8th, which, okay, whatever. But then Raja O'Hara, the one who everybody disliked, is going to be top 3. Rumored top 3. Okay. Let's see what you can do, Raja. Another thing, the rest of the cast is consisting of Pandora Box and Sonique from season 2. Apparently, Pandora leaves 6th, which, good, she's actually getting a full All-Stars run here. And Sonique gets top 3. From season 3, we have Jada Sophia, who is speculated to be leaving 9th. 9th. Right? Either Scarlet is leaving 9th and Yara 10th. Yeah, Yara 10th, Scarlet 9th. So, Scarlet's not even going to get, that. Jada apparently is leaving 10th, which, why? And Then finally, for season 4, we have Jiggly Caliente, who's leaving 8th, which, good on her, you know? Good on Jiggly for sticking through. Serena Chacha is apparently in this now. I don't know why, but she leaves 13th and doesn't even get an All-Stars one. She's kind of like Jasmine, being that she did the damn thing and then just got on the show and then just left. Eureka is going to be here from seasons 9 and 10 and make it to the top 4. In the top 5, we have Trinity K. Bonet, who I'm so excited to see. But then 7th, we have Jan, and in the top 3, Ginger Minge. I mean, this is such a chaotic cast that they're not going to gel well together. But I want to see who wins, because either it's going to be Sonique, Raja, or Ginger. And any one of those 3 I'm okay with. But is that being overproduced? I think so. So maybe a long hiatus from Drag Race, except for the 14th season, and maybe an international season. Also, International All-Stars is going to be this year. Would benefit the fan base. We kind of need to digest everything before we get force-fed. So my name is Jacob Ferguson, signing out.